Hello everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Gaza Patra Atmaja with status number 2508 1010112 from English class G600. Today, we are diving into one of the most emotionally devastating film of the 2000s, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas.
I know it's hard, but we're all having to say goodbye to our friends for the time being.
Moving? Where to?
The thing about being a soldier is that if your country needs you to go somewhere, you'll go. Think of it as an adventure, like in one of your books.
Children, look. Our new home.
What are you doing?
Exploring!
No, not at the back.
Hello. How old are you? 8. Me too.
Released in 2008 and directed by Mark Herman, this historical drama is based on the novel by John Boyd. The story follows Bruno, an 8-year-old boy whose father is a high-ranking Nazi officer. When the family moves from Berlin to a remote location, Bruno befriends a boy named Samuel. On the other side of the barbed wire fence, a boy who is always wearing striped pajamas. While it didn't sweep the Oscars, it won the British Independent Film Award for Best Actress Vera Farmiga and has become a staple in classrooms worldwide for its unique, albeit controversial, perspective on the Holocaust. The plot is framed entirely through the eyes of a child, which gives it a sense of fable-like originality. The pacing is deliberate. It starts as a slow burn coming-of-age story and gradually shifts into a psychological thriller. The plot development is focused on the tension between Bruno's innocence and the horrific reality on the farm next door. The most memorable scenes are not the ones showing violence, but the quiet conversations through the fence. However, the narrative relies heavily on the twist of fate, leading to a climax that is arguably one of the most haunting endings in cinema history. Let's talk about the performance. Asa Butterfield as Bruno delivers a performance filled with genuine curiosity and a heartbreaking lack of awareness. His chemistry with Jack Scanlon as Samuel is the heart of the film. Vera Farmiga, playing Bruno's mother, gives a standout performance. We watch her slowly crumble as she realizes the true nature of her husband's work. On the flip side, David Thewlis as the father is chillingly professional. He doesn't play a movie monster. He plays a man doing a job, which is much scarier. If there's a weakness, it's that some of the Nazi soldiers feel a bit like stock character, one-dimensionally cruel, but overall, the acting carries the emotional weight effectively. Mark Herman's direction is subtle. He chose to keep the horror of the games mostly out of focus or off camera, mirroring Bruno's own lack of understanding. The cinematography by Benoit Delhomme used a very specific color palette. The family's home is cold, grey, sterile, contrasting with the lost wood where Bruno plays. The use of the fence as a visual barrier in almost every shot emphasizes the divide between humanity and ideology. Is not flashy filmmaking, but it's deeply intentional. The score, composed by the legendary James Horner, it's haunting beautiful. It uses delicate piano melodies that evoke childhood innocence, which makes the moment of silence even more jarring. The sound design is also worth noting. You often hear a low, industrial hum or the sound of distant chimneys in the background. It's a constant, subtle reminder of the atrocity happening just out of sight, creating an atmosphere of dread that never quite leaves the viewer. The central theme is here is the innocence of childhood versus the corruption of adult ideology. The film explores how hatred is learned, not innate. However, we have to address the deeper meaning versus historical accuracy. Many historians criticize the film because, in reality, a child Samuel X would likely have been sent to the gas chambers immediately upon arrival at a camp like Auschwitz. My interpretation is that the film isn't trying to be a documentary. It's a tragic fable. It's used a what-if scenario to show that the walls we build to keep others out eventually trap us in our destruction. Personally, I find this movie incredibly difficult to watch more than once, but I believe it is essential viewing. What I like most was the focus on domestic life of the perpetrators. It shows how normal people can facilitate evil. What I disliked was the occasional lapse into melodrama. Sometimes it feels like the movie is trying a bit too hard to manipulate your tears. I recommend this to anyone interested in historical dramas or character studies. However, if you are looking for a historically accurate depiction of the Holocaust, pair this with a documentary like Shoah or the Schindler's List. In summary, The Boy in the Striped Pajamas is powerful, albeit flawed, exploration of one of history's darkest chapters. It leaves a lasting impression through its devastating finale, which serves as a brutal reminder that hatred has no winners. It's a film that stays with you long after the credits roll, forcing you to think about the fans we still build today. And the rating is 8.5 from 10. Thank you for watching. If you've seen this film, let me know your thoughts in the comment below.